Oshkosh rocks!
It's a beautiful day today in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. We're lucky enough to be at the Paine Arts Center and Gardens, checking it out. It's just a wonderful day. And today we have our executive director of the Paine with us, Aaron Shear. Aaron, tell us a little bit about this place. What is this place all about?
Well, first of all, welcome.
Thank you.
Thrilled to have you here. The Paine is really a neat institution. We consider it actually to be three different museums. That we have a historic house, we're an art museum, we do art exhibitions, and then we also have these wonderful gardens outdoors. So we have these three dimensions, and that goes all the way back to Nathan and Jessie Paine, who originally built the home back in the 20s.
Were they lumber barons?
That's right. Nathan Paine was a lumber baron, and really this home, he was able to create it from the wealth that that industry provided. And even though they were building at home, probably one of the most interesting things about the Paine is that they always knew that ultimately it'd be a museum for the public. They had no children, and so from the very beginning when they were planning where they would put the museum and how they would design it, they were thinking what it would be like for the public.
Wow, that's really thinking ahead. That's really cool for Oshkosh.
Their plans kind of got thwarted a little bit in that they started building it right at the time of the Great Depression, and as the Great Depression really crippled the country and their business, all work on the home ceased in 1932. And then actually they returned to the project then in 1946, so several years later, over a decade later. And really after World War II, when the country was kind of returning its focus home rather than on the war abroad, and they came back to it and really finished it so that it could be open directly to the public. Another interesting facet is the Paines never lived in the house. It's always been a museum.
Wow. Can you talk a little bit about special things inside, just a couple things that are really neat?
Sure. We have historic rooms throughout the house that are very much the way Nathan and Jessie intended them to be. And then as well, we do changing art exhibitions. The summer is a time when we do especially nice exhibitions. This summer we have a major photography exhibition that we're excited about. Then outside we have our gardens. And we actually consider our gardens to be kind of similar to the inside in that the gardens are like rooms or galleries that they're exhibiting and showcasing beautiful horticultural specimens. And so today we're actually going to turn you over to Sheila Glaske, our curator of horticulture, who's in charge of our gardens here. And since it's a beautiful time of year outdoors and we're just getting excited about the garden season, we're going to let her talk to you about the gardens.
And have the gardens always been a special thing for the Paine, or is that new?
The gardens have always been here, but we've really worked hard on them over the past 5 years to just kind of bring them up to a new level and really think more about the educational experience that people are receiving in the gardens.
And you talk about education just for a second. Can you talk a little bit about your Discovery Gallery in the basement, about everyone in the family can come? When I was young, I lived in Oshkosh and I wasn't allowed in the Paine. My mother was on the board, as a matter of fact, and I never got in here until I was probably 20. So tell us a little bit about how you changed that now.
Sure, we definitely welcome families and children to the Paine. We have a lot of school groups go through, and as you mentioned, we have the Family Discovery Gallery, which is on our lower level, and that has 3 educational areas that emphasize the 3 areas I talked about: the historic house, the art museum dimensions, and then gardens. And we have a lot of kids and school groups who go through and participate in that hands-on area.
Cool. Well, let's go check out the gardens. Thanks,
Great.
Aaron. These gardens are just beautiful, strolling around the back of the Paine. Now we have Sheila with us, and she's in charge of the gardens here at the Paine. This is a beautiful place. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, we have roughly 3.5 acres of gardens around the Paine, in which we intensely manicure. We have different seasons. In the spring of the year, we plant over 10,000 tulips, and then we change those beds into annuals through the summer. So we try to incorporate some new plants that people haven't ever seen, some ideas that they can use in their own landscaping. So
the gardens you have here, you could just pick up and take home, and you
That's
could have a
right.
garden just like this at your own home.
That's right. We have about 22 theme gardens. So we have everything from like a formal garden to a shade garden to a herb garden. So a lot of different variety here.
And if I was just coming by the Paine and walking around, are there people that I could talk to help me
We
find
do.
out what kind of garden I should have?
You know, the best thing about gardening is that we're all learning, and there's a lot of people here that know a lot about gardening, and we all interact and learn and share ideas, and they're here to help visitors learn about gardening too.
Different times of the year, I'm sure that the gardens express different things in different areas. So now with the tulips in season, is there a certain area that's much more colorful than other areas?
Well, you know, in the front, I just counted this morning, we have, I didn't count each bulb, but I counted the numbers. We have 5,000 bulbs in the front.
Wow.
So it makes a nice splash from the road. I wanted bright colors so people would see it from the road, so.
Good. And then you have a rose garden. When does that really pop?
The rose garden pops in June.
Okay.
And we have quite a few varieties. We have hardy shrub roses in there, and those are varieties that overwinter and are disease resistant and have multi-bloom. So a lot of reds and pinks and yellows and whites. So it's really pretty in June through the summer.
And then in the back, you have another garden. What is that called?
We have a formal garden. It's just kind of the same shape as Hampton Court Garden in England. And it's surrounded by a hawthorn hedge, and we actually have quite a few tulips in there right now that switched to annuals. So it's a great place to view the flowers and the fountain in the middle.
Do you have special events here? I know Mother's Day, for instance, or art fairs or things like that. Do you have a lot of those each summer?
Yeah, throughout the year we have a lot of events. They're on our website, www.thepaine.org. So you can check them out. So we have a lot of events throughout the gardens, and it's kind of a fun time to be here at the Paine.
Good. How about kids? A lot of kids come through here?
We do. You know, we're getting more children, which is great to see. I think we're losing horticulture in the youth, but it's nice to see families come and experience that together.
Good, good.
So.
All right, Sheila, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
I enjoyed speaking with you. It's a great place you have here.
Thank you.
Thanks.